You know how it is when it comes to like first episode stuff, like you think it all sounds good, and then you find out on post, you're just sitting here going like this. Like
Right,
we didn't
Stella?
know. All right. Hello, lovely watchers. Welcome to the Book of Memories, where today we are going to be getting into a series I've been wanting to get into this year. If you're a new Silent Hill fan, such as myself, who's been a longtime fan and loves deep dives, maybe you'll get something out of this, okay? So, now, if you like horror, if you like music, deep dives, don't forget to smash that subscribe button with your dick, and it helps out the algorithms. Off cam here is the boyfriend unit, as always.
Hey, everyone.
So, boyfriend unit, we're gonna get into. It's about, you know, you'll find out. It's
Okay,
just
we'll wing it.
this pill is gonna mean a lot later on, okay?
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. In my restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You'd promised me you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Because you suck, James. You suck, and I fucking hate you.
You're tacky and I hate you.
Left that videotape. And yeah, you can find it in our special place. No, not Vegas. Today's story, boyfriend unit, revolves around several people who are victims of trauma in different forms. Our lucky or not so lucky character is James Sunderland.
Okay.
Keep this in mind because his last name will come up like later on down the road.
Okay.
Okay. So he arrives in a burg of Silent Hill just south of the amusement park that we talked about in the first video game. And after receiving a letter from his late wife, Mary, she was sick and died.
That was in the first one.
Uh, no. So this is in the second one. This is a whole new game.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And allegedly she died like 3 years ago.
Okay.
Whilst exploring, we run into Angela Oroso, a 19-year-old runaway searching for her mother. She warns us that this place isn't safe, but regardless, we keep on going into town to find out, yeah, monsters. Like, lots of monsters.
Typical Silent Hill fashion.
Yeah, a lot of white people in.
Running into danger head first? Yeah.
Don't mind us.
Jeez.
Well, after bopping around town, we find a fellow dressed suspiciously like James. And this is also a recurring theme in the game, which may with many more random dead bodies that look just like James,
Okay.
just scattered about. Like his clothes, like his jacket looks the same, like but just totally like just mangled and destroyed and all the things. So we find out the only way through town is going to be in the apartment where we run into Eddie Dombrowski, another runway, and Laura, an 8-year-old who befriended Mary in her last days.
Okay.
And when they were both in the hospital. Here we find a news clipping that tells of 2 children being murked by one Walter Sullivan before he was sent to jail. Remember this because Walter becomes he'll be coming back soon. Okay. We meet up with Angela in an apartment room where now she's contemplating life. We convince her to live, and in return, she hands us her knife. And now, when we're in low health, we too can start contemplating life. Like, gee, I'm out of life, and like, it'd be really great to just end it here.
Just make it easy on everyone. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Or, you know, life, yeah.
It happens.
So, while making it through the apartment, James runs into the indestructible being known as Pyramid Head, also known in this household, P Head Daddy.
Gotcha.
He kind of looks like that.
No. Oh, the guy with the big sword.
Yeah,
The big, thick sword.
big throbbing sword.
Gotcha.
So James makes it to the special place, a local park where he meets Maria, a woman who resembles Mary, his dead wife, but has an assertive sexual personality. Maria claims she's never seen or even met Mary, but because she's a damsel in distress at the time, James allows her to follow him. Once they make it to the bowling alley, they meet up with Eddie and Laura, and Laura is like, I need to run away and do whatever. So like she just like runs off.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of like character development.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, as long as there's a lot of characters already involved, you know, just the beginning, so.
Just 4.
Oh.
Including ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really tight-knit characters. Not a whole lot going on. You got James, Angela, Eddie, Laura, and Maria.
So that's 5.
Yeah. Not a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And then like in the background is like Mary is in the background. Just
Mary's the wife.
Yeah, Mary's the dead wife.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they do that intentionally. Mary, Maria.
Yeah. I've noticed. Yeah.
So Laura walks into Brookhaven Hospital, and keep this place in mind because we'll be back soon.
Okay.
It's here we get another nod to Silent Hill 4 about an orphanage in the woods used to recruit children into the fold of the order, into the occultism and all those things. Yeah. So like they would take like orphans and then they would be like, oh, it's so sad you didn't get adopted. Here, be a part of our cult.
Here's family.
Yeah, what's family? So searching for Laura at Maria's insistence, James and Maria get eventually chased by P-Head Daddy. And unfortunately, Maria, she gets murked. It's a somber moment till James brushes it off. Quickly, by the way, because Mary, and that's why.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, did she expect him to not? But well, I guess she's dead, so it won't matter.
So, like, Mary's already dead. He meets up with a girl named Maria, who looks like Mary, and then he witnesses P-Head Daddy murking a woman that looks like his dead wife.
Yeah, that could be traumatic again.
It's all about trauma in this.
Oh.
It's all about trauma.
That's the recurring theme? Oh.
That's like the whole theme. Okay, so at this point, it's dark. Like, it was daytime before. Now it's nighttime. And that means the monsters are out to play. So that means mannequins, nurses alike coming after these cheeks. And eventually, James makes it to the Historical Society, and there he finds out there's an underground prison. And this is where the adventure gets a bit trippy, because we have a labyrinth underneath the prison to explore shortly after, where James finds Maria, not dead, in a locked cell room.
Wait, the girl who got like shivved by Pyramid Daddy?
Yeah.
She's not dead?
No, she shows up again, alive, in the maze.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
She kind of but here's the thing, like the whole time that she's talking to James, she's gaslighting the shit out of him. And it's like something, you forgot the videotape, something, I'm not your Mary. Like she knows details that only Mary would know.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So James sets off to find a way.
Maria met Mary before? Oh, no, she said she hasn't.
Never met Mary.
Okay.
Yeah. So James sets off to find a way to free her, but it's too late because by the time he gets there, she's dead again. Talk about salt in the wound.
Right. Okay.
So later on, he rescues Angela from a monster, after which she reveals her father had abused her as a child. In fact, a newspaper clipping implies she killed her father before coming to Silent Hill.
Oh.
Then there's some back and forth about Angela claiming that James didn't actually love Mary. On our way out of the maze, we run into Eddie again, and he admits to popping a cap in a bully's kneecap and killed a dog before running off to Silent Hill. Which, like, as we've covered on Silent Hill, like, I would have expected more.
I was gonna say, for all the people that have kind of come and gone through Silent Hill, that's like the least offensive thing.
Yeah, like, it's there, but it's not like...
He's kind of like hardcore light.
He's like a smoothie poser.
Yeah.
He's not about these lumps.
He's not about that life.
No.
Okay.
Straight up murder would have been more appropriate, but oh, wait. Dead in every single body position throughout this whole video game, because that's what that means. Every time you run into a body throughout town,
Uh-huh.
that I said looked like James, but it's not James. Supposed to be a body position of every time James has died, and the loop begins again where he begins and gets a little further.
So Silent Hill's in the loop now.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Leaving it up to James having the personality of a lemon, he asked the wrong damn question, which is like, Eddie, have you gone insane? Now we're fighting Eddie. Because Eddie's like, you too, James. You're just like them.
Gosh.
So James is forced now to kill Eddie in self-defense. And then he grieves he just killed a human being. And at this point, I don't blame you, boyfriend unit, if you've drank the Kool-Aid. It's just to James's benefit of the doubt. At this point, some things are just best left unsaid.
Gotcha.
We'll find out as we go.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so at this point, the destination has been a hotel over Toluca Lake, okay? So we finally make it to the hotel after rowing a canoe across Toluca Lake.
Toluca Lake, is this the same like big huge lake that's in Silent Hill?
Yes, in the first one. We went there when we went to the lighthouse.
Oh yes, with Dahlia?
Yes, with Dahlia, Sybil, and Harry.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
James gets the videotape, which depicts him killing his dying wife by smothering her with a pillow. And now you know where the meme comes from.
Wait, how does he get a video of it?
Yes.
He just willy-nilly finds one?
So there's a videotape in the hotel, and the hotel videotape is like an over-the-shoulder, like camera, like as if we're watching it.
Oh.
And he just kind of goes, "Good night,"
Dang.
and you just see from her point of view, in cuts, of like what it looks like when you're being suffocated by a pillow. Yeah.
Okay.
So like our protagonist isn't exactly,
Husband of the year?
definitely not husband of the year material. So meanwhile, Laura, the little girl, has been on the hunt for Mary as well. A letter James gets from Laura wishes her a happy birthday. So when asked when she turned 8 years old, Laura says it was just last week, which is okay. So by my maths, Mary died 3 weeks ago rather than 3 years ago.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Because he starts off with the whole thing being like, I got this letter from my wife, but she's dead like 3 years ago. And here I am. Why am I looking for her? And Laura's like the only one who's like, nah, dude, it's like 3 weeks ago. Like,
Wow.
I just turned 8 last week.
Okay.
Which I would believe her more than I would him at this point. Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there. When James breaks the news to her that he murked his own wife, Laura does what any 8-year-old would do and ditches him. Which, by the by, the way she handles the news is probably the only appropriate way any sane person would have. In fact, Laura is probably the only person who's normal in the whole damn story. She doesn't see any of the monsters. She doesn't get why everyone's like seeing things that like no one else does. No like none of that. She doesn't get it.
Maybe she's not on that white Claudia.
Right.
Light.
So in another room with a burning staircase, Angela decides to give up on life ultimately, unable to cope with her trauma. She thanks James for saving her, but wishes he hadn't. And after stating she deserved what her father did to her, she walks up the stairs and is never seen again. So Eddie's dead. Maria is like double dead. Angela's like, I'm good. We good. I'm going out my way. Peace out, everybody.
Bye, bitches.
And Laura left.
So he's left alone again.
Yeah. Lemonhead James decides to keep finding Mary because we are that guy. And after meeting up with now 2 P-head daddies, they murk Maria one last time.
A third time?
A third time. This girl gets penetrated 3 times in a row in one game.
By 2 different daddies?
By 4 different P-head daddies.
Dang.
Because there was a one at the hospital, there's a one in the jail cell, and there's 2 at the hotel. Just implying. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Choo choo.
Choo-choo!
Fuck up the train.
He realizes that Behead Daddy at this point was created by him, for him to be judged.
Wait, how did he create it?
So all the monsters at this point, okay, so if you guys haven't caught on yet, a lot of the monsters are created or implied to signify or to symbolize things that are like scary or like traumatizing or deep desire that like the protagonist, or like for example in the first game it was more so about Alessa and not Harry. So whatever Harry was, you know, viewing as monsters, those were scary and traumatizing because of Alessa, not so much of him himself. And this time around, we've got like nurses that look very sexualized. We've got mannequins where there's like two legs, like from the hips, like sewn together. A guy who looks like he's like bundled up and like in a straitjacket, you know, like as if like he himself is strapped into himself.
So is like all of the Silent Hill just a figment of his imagination, or is it just kind of like
It's his experience.
and he's like projecting that onto himself? Oh,
I could agree with that.
and that's what Silent Hill does. Kind of sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell, hill. It's like one vowel away from each other. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. That's a motif. And it also kind of makes it seem like the town itself is playing with, like, the town itself is a character.
Oh,
Yeah. Because, okay, so make a note, everybody. When we met Eddie for the last time, we were fighting him, everything was cold and chill and, like, icy, right? If you look at the car at the very beginning of the game, you'll notice the windshield wipers are up. And when do you ever do that? When it's cold outside. So that way, like, the snow doesn't, like, pack in your windshield wipers, right? When we meet Angela for the last time, everything's on fire. So that implies that everything that she's viewing as Silent Hill, things are on fire. Everything that Eddie sees is on ice. And anytime we run into Laura, it's just normal.
Laura's the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's why she's like, I don't know, like, what monsters you're talking about. Like, you're weird.
Yeah, she sounds safer like out on her own.
Yeah, right? For an 8-year-old? And it's also kind of like one of those things where, like, okay, hold on. So there's a little thing about Laura. When we first run into her for, like, the real first time, he goes, James says, what's a little girl like you doing out here anyway? And she's like, what, are you blind or something? And it's honestly, like, every time I hear that sentence or those two, that exchange, I'm always wondering if, like, maybe James sees Laura as an 8-year-old, but really she's not.
Do they ever clarify that?
No.
Oh.
The only time it's brought up is when she hands that letter over and it says, happy 8th birthday. And he's like, when did you turn 8? She's like, oh, like last week. But it's so weird how, like, at the beginning, she's like, are you blind or something? And it's like, as opposed to what? You're a little girl. Like, if I was 8 years old, I would not be a... God, I cannot imagine being an 8-year-old runaway, right? Let alone in Silent Hill itself.
I mean, by that logic, I could see why it would kind of like be she was an adult, not an actual child.
Right.
In the game, is there like a visual of her being an adult or just as a child?
No.
Or did they not show her?
No.
They don't show her?
No.
Oh.
It's just a little girl.
Hmm.
Well, after defeating the two boogeymen, James heads off to the rooftop of the hotel after listening to probably the last mixed emotion conversation he had with his dying wife, Mary. Once at the top, he sees Mary, and depending on how you played, the journey depends on how Mary is talked to. Sometimes it really is Mary. Sometimes it's the specter, Maria. And spoiler warning, she has been impersonating Mary from time to time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
So
all bad.
right. So either way, there's a final boss battle, and depending again on your journey, you'll get one of 6 endings. In the leave ending, James has one last meeting with Mary and leaves town with Laura. And this is probably like the best closure for those who love warm, fuzzy feelings. And my personal favorite's In Water. And this sees James drive into Toluca Lake with Mary's dead body in the backseat of the car.
Wait, Mary's the wife.
Yeah.
Mary's the wife that he was looking for, but she was in the back seat of the car.
It was like a college thing. You know, like, you know, when you just throw trash in the backseat of your car? Yeah. It's kind of like one of those moments. He might have had like a slip of memory. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm trying to come up with some kind of creative way of explaining this. I can't explain this.
How do you...
Misplace a whole body? I know.
Your wife in the backseat of the car and they'll go around asking about her in a town.
To like 4 other strangers?
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense. White peopling, okay? Okay, so the Maria ending sees James dismissing the premises of Maria as a hallucination and leaves with her. And she briefly coughs, and this suggests that she will become sick just like Mary did, and the cycle repeats again. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fizz. Ugh.
Does need blood all of a sudden?
All I can say is grab your pillow. Because we're about to do this one more time.
Okay, round 2.
One of the other ones that is also kind of like, it's a bonus ending, but it's also like a really nice one, is called The Rebirth. This ending finds James collecting some items through the journey for a ritual, which he then uses to resurrect his dead wife.
That he killed?
Yes.
Oh.
Talk about a plot twist, right?
Yeah.
So the last 2 are joke endings. There's a dog ending where James finds out that everything was controlled by a Shiba Inu dog. Just like working little controllers. Well, yeah. Little Mira dog.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then the last ending is UFOs because, say it with me now, aliens. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's Silent Hill 2.
Wow. So, I just had a question to skip my mind.
Was it on like the ending?
It was on the last. Yeah, it was one of the end. It's not the alien, not the Shibu. What was the last one you just said?
Rebirth.
Oh yeah. So he went through all the hassle of killing wifey just to bring her back.
I guess love is love. I don't know.
Just to be like, damn, now I know why I killed you again. Go back.
Not about like this. If I was sick, and then I was like pillowed, and then brought back to life, yeah, I'd have some words to say. I don't know if I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like,
Yeah. So why would you bring her back? I mean, maybe out of guilt. But
yeah. Again, trauma.
I mean, you're just gonna be in the doghouse for a very long time.
Literally a Shiba Inu doghouse.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you bring that up, and that's one of the locations where you can find a dog key, and then that's how you get the dog ending.
In a literal doghouse?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He might just be better off leaving her dead.
And this is why I like the In Water ending, because In Water, like, it makes it peaceful for everybody. He did some shitty shit. She was kind of shitty to him. And
she was sick. How is she shitty to him?
He was like the only last person to like take care of her.
To death do us part.
Right. I guess for both of us.
I mean, he accelerated that time, but you know, that's kind of the job description of marriage. You know, not just like, yeah, I'm not about this anymore.
No. Right?
Contract.
The subscription is ended.
The subscription ship is done. Jeez.
All in all, if you like clunky 3D video games from the 2001 era, and you like menu dives as well as, you know, some lore, deep lore as well, which we will get into, because Silent Hill 2 is chock full of more lore than Silent Hill 1. Stick around for more VODs. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for ringing that bell notification. And until next time, everybody, unpleasant dreams.